So Ben had Miami at 9. I have the Boston Celtics at number 9.
I do as well.
I still think they'll be right around that range. I don't think that they'll be that bad. I think they've got some serviceable guys, but at the same time, offensively, they're gonna need to find other ways to score than just hope that a lot of their threes are going down, because the defense has obviously gotten a lot worse, losing Tatum, Horford, Porzingis, Holiday, Cornette. Like, they've lost a lot of really good defensive players, so they're going to need to find a way to get some stops, even if their 3-point shots aren't going down.
Agreed. I just, like, the reason I had them lower is just I really hope they do that, because if they really want to take an off year and this is the year to do it, you want to be bad. Might as well go for it.
I got a question for you guys. What seed do you think has the first above 500 record? What's the lowest seed in the East that's above 500?
Let's see. So for reference, oh my gosh, I forgot it
I have
was
6.
For reference, last season, the Detroit Pistons at 6 were the first East team that was above 500. Orlando at 7 was 500. You think about the same, Joey?
Yeah, that's exactly where I have it. Not those teams at there, but literally my 7th spot is 41 and 41.
I'm gonna say that the 7th seed, my 7th seed, is gonna have an above 500 record.
Nice. I don't think I said my 9 yet. My 9 is where I actually had the Milwaukee Bucks. I just think Giannis, like, he can still carry them into at least a late play-in spot.
And just to wrap on the Bucks, then I have them at 500, one spot higher, number 8.
All right, there we go. Perfect. I have the Toronto Raptors at number 8. So right in the middle of things. The team, again, just screams middle of the pack to me. I think they're going to win a decent amount of games. I think they're going to be creamed in a decent amount of games, and it'll have them right in this sort of range, which I think it isn't bad. I mean, I like their team. I think I'm excited to see again how Darko Rajakovic coaches these guys, because I think he is a good coach. Now we'll get to see how the Raptors can do with a more competent, healthy team with a lot of players that can do a lot of different things.
I'm interested to see how they're. Can you put that back up for just a minute? Because we talked about the 2 timeline thing. They're a little closer together in terms of their timelines, with Grady Dick, Walter, and Murray Boyles all being like in the last 2 years. And then quickly Barrett, Ingram, Barnes. Like, Ingram's the oldest guy. Pearl's been there forever too, but like they're quickly Barrett and Barnes. Like, I'm interested to see if they can intermingle those, 2, what did I just say?
The 2 timelines together.
Timelines.
As Joey magically disappeared as we looked at the Raptors. Now he's coming back. There he is. But yeah, excited to see how that goes. But again, like we talked about, which one of those guys is going to be okay with being the number 1 guy and being the leader? Or I guess maybe not even that, if those other surrounding pieces are okay. If they name Scotty Barnes as the leader of the team, or Brandon Ingram as the leader of the team, like if those other guys are going to be okay with that, and if that can cause any other problems on the court, because there's a potential for that as well. And they finish a little lower. For Ben at number 8, this is where he had the Indiana Pacers right here at number 8. I'm actually surprised that no one had the Pacers lower than this to start, but I'm not mad at it because I have them a little higher.
Yeah, I also have the Pacers just a little higher. I have them only 1 spot higher at 7. I have the Bulls because we were screaming mid. I have the Bulls at 8 just because, hey, they're mid. They are the mid team. So them right at 8, it just fits perfectly. They have a solid team. Like, they really do. They just don't have a great team. And especially in this Eastern Conference with a couple teams that are on the fence that we've talked about, they have an opportunity, and they have a lot of guys that do have potential. I really like Buzelis. I'm a big Buzelis fan, like Nick is.
Senge is going to be interesting.
Yeah. They did play a fun style of basketball the second half of the year. They played a lot faster last year, which was super fun to watch. 7 for me is where I had the Pacers. Pacers, they're just always...
We all had them there then? Sorry. We all had 7 Pacers? I did.
You do too? Okay.
Oh, nice.
How about that? So, yeah, I mean, look, the Pacers...
I'm also surprised no one had them out of the playoffs.
I for sure thought someone had them out of the play-in, but it makes sense. We all got respect for the Pacers. They're not a one-man band just because Halliburton is out and just because Turner's gone. We still think they're going to be a competitive team to at least have a chance to host a playing game, which is pretty impressive. But it makes a lot of sense with how well all the rest of those guys played last season.
Yeah, that's the difference between the Celtics and the Pacers right there. Is when the Celtics lost Tatum, they had a fire sale and they started shipping off everybody and not brought people back because they knew what was going to kind of happen. The Pacers, they only lost Miles Turner along with it. They have a lot of other guys that are ready to play and proved that in the playoffs that they can step up when it matters most. Like Halliburton, like as much as we can say he had a great playoff run, obviously his inconsistency on offense led to them losing a lot of those games, and we were critical of him in that area. But even with that, other guys stepped up to make them competitive in those games. They just needed Halliburton to get over that edge to win those games. Like Halliburton is like they're one of the most influential players on that team, but at any given moment, he's not necessarily the best player on the court. Like Siakam could take that reign probably a good 50% of the time.
Yeah, I mean, Halliburton just was their closer at the end. That's where he really stepped up in each round, which is still unbelievable. Yeah. But now it's going to be up to these other guys to really show their worth with, two key guys now off their team for the season. Nick, I know we talked about it a little during the division preview. What do you think they'll end up doing with their starting lineup? It's something that we've been debating a decent amount with, of course, the center position, losing Turner. A lot of guys that are either coming off of injuries or just overall didn't play a whole lot. And, of course, we've seen during times where Pascal Siakam with his Raptors days ran the 5 and the Raptors were decently successful. So what do you think that Rick Carlisle will do with the starting lineup in the front court?
I'm probably going to experiment and change it up to start the year. I think that he could go with Siakam at the 5 to start. But personally, I would put a center in there because, like, Siakam is a natural 4, I think, on most teams, and you would want to play him at his natural position. And you have 4 centers on the roster who like need to figure out what they do best and how guys play alongside them. So I honestly really like their addition of James Wiseman. I know he's been like not like the opposite of a diamond in the rough. He was a top pick that never really made it. But he was still a top pick, and he's still like in his mid-20s. So there's something to watch there in him. I think he'll change it up and mix in those centers.
It's definitely going to be a fun position battle because if Rick Carlisle does want to have like a traditional center in there, and I agree that he should do that. But they can experiment. Whoever's playing hot at the right moment, they got Huff right over the offseason. So like they obviously believe in his potential a little bit. James Wiseman has some untapped potential there. Isaiah Jackson coming back from injury, like who knows? It's kind of wide open, and he kind of has a bunch of options.
It is interesting. All those centers kind of play differently too. They play a lot of different styles. Like Jackson is a great rebounder who can catch lobs. He's like an energy guy. Jay Huff can shoot the ball from the perimeter. Wiseman can score in the post. And Tony Bradley's, a good rebounder as well. It's crazy that out of all their centers, obviously besides Turner, Tony Bradley had the biggest impact in the playoffs. Center, as we also lose Nick as well. That also blew Nick away as well. But yeah, it's going to be crazy. I'm excited to see what the Pacers end up doing with their starting lineup. But now so I guess I didn't mention Ben's number 7. Ben had the Bucks at number 7.
Ben has a little more belief in the Bucks. Okay,
he does. I love as Nick rejoins us here. It's interesting. So Ben's got the Bucks at 7. Nick has them at 8. Joey at 9, and I have them at 12. So this is the steep drop off there. But now we are in the top 6. So here are all the teams that we think are going to be a lock to make the playoffs. Starting at the 6th seed, Nick, who is your 6th seed in the East?
Miami.
Oh,
wow!
I'm shocked by that.
I like Miami, man. I think they got a good squad. You guys know I love Bam. My top 10 center lists. I love Bam. I mean, Heat culture. They got winners on their team. I mean, a lot. I don't know what else to say.
He's got winners in his house. Aja Wilson, his girlfriend, literally just won MVP again. Like
the fourth time.
For like the fourth, literally the fourth time. Maybe she could teach Bam a little something about consistency.
Wait a minute.
now Nick's doing research.
It's like, wait.
This is Joey. I got a question for you. What is the hotter take? The Heat at 6 or the Bucks at 12? What's the hotter take?
Personally, the Heat at 6.
Oh god,
I think
it has to, because the Bucks, after losing,
I can't wait. It
makes sense for them to like drop off this year after they didn't already have like a great regular season last year, and it ended poorly in the playoffs. So that's not a hot take at all. To say the Heat did better, I can't. What is that?
Nick.
There. Look at the DPOYs. Look at the All-Stars. DPOY.
Wow,
5 years.
Wow,
getting votes.
DPOY 10. You know, Domantas Sabonis also got DPOY 9 one year. I hope that DPOY.
Is that true? Or are you just throwing out?
Sure I saw it.
No, he did get a vote either last year or
2 years ago or something like that. So
a vote is not ninth.
Or 10th.
Yeah, that could be. It could be.
It was 10th.
Oh,
Okay.
so he got the same amount of respect as Bam as a defender.
Correct.
No. I think the Heat at 6 is definitely a hot take. I definitely think so. If they get the 6 seed,
demolished, the worse than any other playoff team in history, and they're going to get infinitely better.
Infinitely, I got them like 5 wins better.
which gets them to 6. That'd be yeah.
They were 37 wins last year. I have them at 42 and 40.
Yeah, I guess if the 6 seed gets 42 wins.
That's who I have. Wait, no. I have the 6 seed a little higher, actually.
Okay. All right. Interesting. All right, we'll see. The Heat at 6. That's going to be one to note down for the season.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Joey, who's your 6 seed?
I have the Philadelphia 76ers at 44 and 38 at the 6 seed. They are the biggest wild card, so they could do what Nick predicted and be bottom of the barrel.
They were 10th for me.
10th and barely making the play-in. Or in this week, Eastern Conference, even if Embiid isn't playing all the time and all that, I don't expect Paul George to be as bad. They're getting key players back. I'm excited to see Jared McCain come back. I think the consistency of the floor for the Sixers is a little higher than it was obviously last year.
Yeah, definitely would hope so for that team. That's why I do have them a little bit higher. Ben has them actually at number 5, but his 6th seed, this is where he has the Atlanta Hawks at number 6.
I knew it.
Sad.
So Ben's a little lower on the Hawks than
that's my vote for worst take of the episode so far.
Oh, come on.
Okay, no. He has to give it to someone, Miles.
Well,
he can't give it to himself.
That's true. He can't give it to
I'm
himself.
guessing the 3 of us have the Hawks top 4.
We'll get to – yes, I do.
So I think 6 is offbeat.
I don't think that's crazy, though. I think the Heat at 6 is crazy. But, you can't vote for yourself.
Missing the play-in altogether is just wild.
Okay, let's start here. I know we're in the middle of the episode, but how many wins is a 6 seed do you guys think going to have?
44.
Between 42 and 45, I would say.
Yeah, 45 wins.
I don't see the Heat even.
I don't think the Heat are a 45-win team.
No, I don't either. But I think they're closer to that range than the Hawks are.
They're closer to the...
No.
I don't know. I wouldn't agree with that. We can agree to disagree.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
We can agree to disagree.
The listeners will have my back.
We'll see. Let us know down below. Ben has the Hawks at 6. 6 is where I have the Detroit Pistons.
Whoa, okay.
And it's not that I don't like their team. I like all these teams for the most part. I just have some questions with the team overall. I mean, again, we talk a lot about these teams during the previews, but with the Pistons specifically, last year they were the 6th seed. They jumped up incredibly, and not entirely sure if they ended up getting better or not, or if they got worse. If anything, they're the same or slightly worse, because when you look at the transactions they made, bringing in Duncan Robinson and Karis LeVert, losing Tim Hardaway and Malik Beasley. You get a great three-point shooter and a Swiss Army knife type player that can do a little bit of everything. Losing two great shooters, and the shooting is something that was so key to them jumping up in the standings last year. So I'm just not sure if they ended up getting that much better this offseason. So I have them still staying at 6, but I do like their team.
That's fair. I only have them one spot higher. I have them at 5. Not quite cracking 50 wins for me, but I think the getting Karis LeVert and Robinson isn't a bad takeaway. Some more little scoring. Plus, they're getting Jaden Ivey back, and I do believe he can be at least another a pretty solid, consistent number 2 scoring option next to Cade Cunningham, and that would be a really good duo that Cade didn't have for pretty much more than half the year last year. So
yeah, dude, that's a crazy good front court with front court backcourt terms. Crazy good backcourt with size between those two guys and scoring production. I do think the argument about like their roster getting a little bit worse is true. I think it probably took a step back a little bit, losing those. The 3-point shooting was so crucial for them and their style of play and opening Cade up. So if that dips even a little bit, it's going to have a pretty big impact. But like my argument would be like Durant got better. Asar's going to be better. Jaden and Cade are both going to be better too. So I think like hopefully that can propel them to, take the negatives away and inch them forward a bit. So I have them at 5-2, 45 wins.
I also do think Asar is going to take a pretty bigger jump than not quite to his brother level yet.
You got to shoot it.
He does have to shoot the ball.
That's the thing. I just think the 3-point ball is so important. And if Thompson and Duran get better, it's not going to be from the 3-point line.
Right. True. Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll see. I am very excited to see what Jaden Ivey does. I think he could have the potential to be, the legit second option on that team. I kind of just have to see it first to believe it. But if he does take that jump, I can definitely see the Pistons being higher. I feel like this, honestly, the 3 through 6 range could be completely interchangeable.
The reason I said Ben's take was the worst, I probably wouldn't have said that if he was here, to be honest. He's just not able to defend himself, so it's low-hanging fruit. But I can't fathom putting the Hawks below this team.
The Hawks below the
I agree. I tend to agree with
that. The reason would be injury, right? Because the front court health of Johnson and Porzingis is quite questionable. So that I understand. That I can understand. It's just, it's injuries are one of those things that's very difficult to predict and project besides these teams that have their star out for the whole year. So when you don't have that, it is kind of difficult to project that stuff. So I'm thinking that's what Ben's head is at with the Atlanta Hawks. But as far as the 5th seed goes, Ben had the Sixers at 5. You two have the Pistons. 5 is where I have the Orlando Magic.